Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training website, passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I am going to give you a CV and resume template for students with no experience. So if you are applying for your first ever position, you are a student and you have no work experience, make sure you stay tuned because I will help you get hired at the first attempt. Now, to achieve that goal, this is what I will cover in this training video, number one. So I will tell you the 5 sections to include in your CV or resume if you have no previous work experience. Number 2, I will then give you 13 brilliant words to use on your CV or resume if you are a student with no work experience. Number 3, I will then give you a brilliant personal statement to use in your CV or resume that will help you get hired. Now, the personal statement is the first thing the hiring manager will read on your CV or resume. It needs to be impactful. I will give you the exact personal statement to use. And then finally, number 4, I will tell you where you can instantly download my 7 ready-made CV and resume templates, including the one I'm going to work through in this training video. And just very quickly, if you are new to this channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We have more than 3 million followers now in this community. I want to help you get hired at the first attempt. I can only do that if you are subscribed. And please just give the video a like. A lot of time and effort goes into making these tutorials. If you like the video, it motivates me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, let's get started, and I will tell you the 5 sections you should include on your CV or resume if you are a student who has no previous work experience. Now, I recommend you keep your CV or resume to a maximum of 2 to 3 pages. You do not need to create one any longer than that. So when you create it in a Microsoft Word document, don't go over 2 to 3 pages. The hiring manager has lots of CV and resumes to work through. We need to make sure yours stands out, and you can achieve that by keeping it relatively short and concise. So let's start on page 1 of your CV or resume if you are a student who has no previous work experience. Right at the very top, include your name and contact details. So this will include your full name, a direct contact number, and an email address. And make sure the answer phone message on your mobile or cell phone is professional sounding. This is important. The hiring manager is going to look at your CV or resume. The next thing they will do is call you up to invite you along to an interview. If they call you and you are not available, it goes through to your answer phone message and it's unprofessional sounding, they may hang up. So we're going to make it really easy for them to get in contact with you. So at the top, full name, direct contact number, and email address. Then section 1 of the first page of your CV or resume is that all important personal statement. This is the first thing they will read about you. So a personal statement is an approximate 150-word brief introduction that summarizes your skills, qualifications, and suitability for the position you have applied for. And very soon, I'm going to give you a brilliant, confident, impactful personal statement you can use if you are a student who has no previous work experience. We then move on to page 2 of our CV and resume for students with no experience. Section 2 is your education history and qualifications. So here you will list the schools, colleges, or universities you attended, the subjects you studied, and the qualifications attained. Then section 3 is any relevant experience. So what I want you to do is to include here in section 3 a summary of any part-time jobs you have held, or including any work placements, and also the responsibilities you had at each position. This could also include any voluntary work you've completed, and also whether you have been a member of any groups, sports teams, or societies. So try and think of any relevant experience you can include in section 3. Then moving on to the third page of your CV or resume, if you are a student with no experience, is hobbies and interests. So this should include a brief outline of your interests and activities. Very soon I will give you some examples to include. And then finally, section 5 is references. And this will be the details of 2 people who will vouch for your good personality and your suitability for the position you have applied for. It could be a previous tutor at a college or university, or someone you know who has a professional standing job position. Now, lots of people put in the references section, references available upon request. I recommend you don't do that. You should include the names and contact details of 2 people who will vouch for your good personality. It will really help you to get hired, trust me, if they see the names of 2 people who they can contact. Of course, make sure you ask these references for permission before you include their name and contact details. Okay, so that's the 5 sections to include in your CV or resume if you are a student with no previous experience. And very soon, I will show you how to put it all together in a Word template, a ready-made Word template. But first of all, let me give you 13 great words to use on your CV or resume if you are a student with no previous work experience. Now, these words are fantastic. You can also use these at your job interview once you get invited along to one. Now, I will leave the number 1 best word until the end. That's the 13th one. These are all fantastic, but there's one you really should include if you're a student with no previous work experience. So the first word is commercially aware. If you say, I am commercially aware, what does that mean? Well, it means that you understand how your work impacts on the organisation. So you have to do a good job. You have to carry out your work on time and to the expected standard. That means you are commercially aware. You fully understand how your work impacts the business. The second word is innovative. Now, students are generally great. They're critical thinkers and they are innovative. So that means you suggest ways the company can improve and meet the needs of its customers. The third one is critical thinking. As you know, as a student, you are a good critical thinker. You can analyze information and data and then use it to make the right decisions. So you can say, I have good critical thinking skills, because you will have if you are a student. This means you analyze information carefully and use it to make smart decisions. The fourth word is creative. Lots of students I come across are creative. This means you suggest ideas as to how the company can increase sales, make better products, and then promote them. Because lots of people, young people, students, are really good at social media, so they can help the company promote their products and services on places like Facebook and Instagram, etc. The fifth word is positive. Lots of young people, especially students, are positive, and that's sometimes lacking in organisations. But if you are positive, mention it on your CV or resume. You can say you are always upbeat, friendly and approachable, and you look for the opportunity in every difficult situation. The next word to use on your CV or resume is communicator. So this means you communicate well with your co-workers and customers, and you understand the importance of listening, not just talking. You understand how important listening is. Moving on to our next one. This is a great word to include on your CV or resume if you are a student with no previous work experience, and that is cost conscious. Sometimes another word that you can use instead of cost conscious, which means the same thing, is frugal. F-R-U-G-A-L. So cost conscious means that you do not waste company supplies or resources. In turn, that helps the business save money. You make it more profitable. Industrious is a great word to use. This means you work hard, are diligent and focused. Industrious is a far better word than hard-working. Lots of people will say, I am a hard worker. But saying industrious is a word that will resonate positively with the hiring manager. Results-driven is another great one to use on your CV or resume for students with no experience. It means you ensure your work is focused on achieving results. So you don't just do your work, you're actually focused on achieving results from it. You set yourself goals. Attention to detail is another really good one to include on your CV or resume for students with no experience, because generally students are really good with regard to attention to detail. They don't make many mistakes. So your work is accurate, concise, and error-free. Resilient is another good one to include. This means that you overcome challenges with determination and fortitude. Team player. This means you can collaborate with anyone and easily fit into a team. You have been at college or university. You must be a team player. You've got to work with other students to achieve your goals. And the number one word, problem solver. This means you never shy away from problems. Instead, you take ownership of them. Lots of people in companies, leave problems for other people to deal with, but you're not going to do this. You are hungry to learn as a student. You want to take on responsibilities and deal with them so you gain the experience. So those are 13 powerful words to use on your CV or resume if you are a student with no previous work experience. Now, let me give you that all-important 150-word CV and resume personal statement for students with no experience. Don't forget, the personal statement appears on page 1 of your CV or resume. It's a 150-word, approximate 150-word brief introduction that summarizes your skills, qualifications, and suitability for the position you have applied for. This is a fantastic one. Once I've given you the personal statement, I will then go through to that CV and resume template and show you how to put it all together. Here is the CV and resume personal statement for students with no previous work experience. Here we go. Thank you for considering my application for this position. I am a highly motivated, passionate, energetic, and commercially focused team worker who understands the importance of self-discipline, high standards, and prioritizing my work in line with the company's objectives. During my studies, I developed excellent communication and interpersonal skills, which means I will consistently be a positive role model while dealing with customers and clients and collaborating with my co-workers. I am a high achiever. In addition to attaining excellent academic grades, I have won several team sports events and set up a student study support group at college. If you hire me, I will take ownership of complex challenges and problems, seek ways to help increase sales, and take a cost-conscious approach to my work to help save money and increase profits. Wow, that is a formidable personal statement to use on a CV or resume if you are a student with no previous work experience. It's fantastic. Okay, let me now show you how to put all of that together in a CV and resume Microsoft Word template for students with no previous work experience, and I will then tell you where you can download it. Okay, so let's start on page 1 of your CV or resume. Right across the top, include your name, your contact number, and email address. We are going to make it super easy for the hiring manager to get in touch with you and invite you along to a job interview. Don't forget that tip for making sure your answer phone message is professional sounding. We then move on to section 1, which is the personal statement. This is the first thing they will read about you. It needs to be confident, articulate, and impactful. This one certainly is, and you can see that I have put it in a box. It makes it look more organized on your CV or resume. Let me quickly read this personal statement to you again so you can see how effective it is. Thank you for considering my application for this position. I am a highly motivated, passionate, energetic, and commercially focused team worker who understands the importance of self-discipline, high standards, and prioritizing my work in line with the company's objectives. During my studies, I developed excellent communication and interpersonal skills, which means I will consistently be a positive role model while dealing with customers and clients and collaborating with my co-workers. I am a high achiever. In addition to attaining excellent academic grades, I have won several team sports events and set up a student study support group at college. If you hire me, I will take ownership of complex challenges and problems, seek ways to help increase sales, and take a cost-conscious approach to my work to help save money and increase profits. You can see how strong that is. It's the first thing they are going to read about you. We then move on to the next section, which is your education history and qualifications. Include the name of the school, college, or university you attended and the dates, any subjects studied, and the qualifications or grades you attained. Then relevant experience. This might be details of part-time jobs you have held, including the responsibilities you had, work placements, voluntary work completed, and also whether you have been a member of any groups, sport teams, or societies. Hobbies and interests. Good examples include studying self-development courses, reading books, team sports, physical fitness, volunteering, or even playing a musical instrument. Then the references section, don't forget to include the name, the position, and the contact details. Put down 2 people, get their permission first, and then finally you can include your contact details once again. Let me now tell you where you can download everything. So the next thing to do, if you want to download this exact CV and resume template for students with no experience, plus another 7 example resume and CV templates in Word documents, click that link right now in the top right hand corner of the video. You can head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and download everything. So you then have them all in a Word document. You can then tweak and amend them, add your own skills and qualities, qualifications and work experience, and you are good to go. It will save you lots of time. You get that powerful personal statement as well. Also, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Literally thousands of you are getting hired. I can only help you if you are subscribed. Please give the video a like. That really does motivate me to create more content for you. And you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It is always a pleasure and an honor to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the very best for getting hired and passing your interview. Have a great day.